Black history. It ain't no mystery. Black history. It ain't no mystery. Black history. It ain't no mystery.
Mary Jackson, Mr.New-School's Black History Spotlight, hosted by Giselle Allen.
Mathematician, Aerospace Engineer, NASA Pioneer, Hidden Figures. Mary Jackson was the first African American female engineer to work at NASA, the National Aeronautics and Space Administration. Mary Jackson was born April 9, 1921 in Hampton, Virginia, to Ella and Frank Winston. After graduating from high school with honors, she earned a dual degree in mathematics and physical science at the Hampton Institute in 1942, now Hampton University, my alma mater. She worked as a math teacher in Maryland for a year before returning to Hampton, and she later married Levi Jackson. In 1951, she started working at NACA, National Advisory Committee for Aeronautics, where she was a member of its West Area Computing Unit, the West Computers. This amazing group of pioneers were African American female mathematicians, and Jackson's supervisor was Dorothy Vaughan, the first African American manager at NACA, which later became part of NASA. And Octavia Spencer played her character in the movie, Hidden Figures. So Mary and her colleagues provided data that were later essential to the early success of the U.S. space program. At the time, NACA was segregated, with Black employees required to use separate bathrooms and dining facilities. She and the other West computers, including Vaughn and Katherine Johnson, played by Taraji P. Henson, were the inspiration for Margot Lee Shetterly's book, Hidden Figures, The American Dream and the Untold Story of the Black women mathematicians who helped win the space race, which was made into an acclaimed film. Both were released in 2016. In 1953, Jackson left the West Computers to work for engineer Kazimierz Czarnecki, conducting experiments in a high-speed wind tunnel. He suggested that Jackson enter a training program that would allow her to become an engineer. Since Virginia's schools were still segregated, she had to obtain special permission to take classes with white students. Jackson ultimately completed the necessary courses, and in 1958, she became the first Black female engineer at NASA. And if you haven't figured it out yet, Mary Jackson was played by Janelle Monáe in the movie Hidden Figures. Jackson worked as an aerospace engineer for some 20 years. Much of her work centered on the airflow around aircraft. Despite early promotions, she was denied management-level positions, and in 1979, she left engineering and took a demotion to become manager of the women's program at NASA. In that post, she sought to improve the opportunities for all women at the organization. She retired in 1985 and enjoyed her family until her death on February 11, 2005. Mary Jackson, thank you for your contributions. And in the words of Mary Jackson, I plan on being an engineer at NASA, but I can't do that without taking them classes at that all-white high school, and I can't change the color of my skin. So I have no choice but to be the first, which I can't do without you, sir. Your Honor, out of all the cases you're going to hear today, which one is going to matter hundreds of years from now? Which one is going to make you the first?
Black history. It ain't no mystery. Black history. It ain't no mystery. Black history. It ain't no mystery.